Real quickly before we begin, I want to thank this video's sponsor, CarMarshal.com. CarMarshal.com can save you lots of money on buying used or new vehicles, cars, trucks, school buses. If you want to save money, I'll have a link in the description down below. I know I'm going to...
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and it's been a while since I did a thing on the sheriff's page here, and again it is full of freaking Charlotte County Sheriff Bill Prummell, the Nazi himself, who does not believe in you, the Constitution, or your rights. Just tyranny. Is absolutely into Nazi narcissism big time. You know, like I said, Nazi Germany did this kind of shit. When you look up narcissism in the dictionary, Charlotte County Sheriff's Office Bill Prummell comes up. It's that bad. So here you got, as just as always, we recognize employees for their great work during the quarterly awards ceremony. Translation means these people fucked up so many people's lives for victimless crimes while they were being road pirates. We have to congratulate them, because normal people wouldn't. They would say, what the fuck are you doing ruining people's lives for victimless crimes? That's normal people, so they have to have this party by themselves. And I'll attach this piece of crap video after it, by the way. But this is disgusting, man. I mean, look at this. Congratulations. This is probably one of the old guys that fucks over people for free. Or it's just like, wow. By the way, again, also, too, stars and bars. We are not supposed to have military over us, but when you look at the corporal and chief and captain, that is exactly what they are doing to us. So the stars and bars are here, but like I said, look up narcissism, and the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office comes up. This is fucking ridiculous. Also, they have another narcissism event coming up, and I highly recommend, if you're near the area, to go to this. I've heard horror stories of this one, where it's narcissism on steroids. Public Safety Appreciation Night is basically, like I said, narcissism on steroids, man. It's at the Charlotte County Harbor Events Conference Center, Saturday, June 23rd at 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. It's $30, but this is where this one's actually worth it, because you actually do get food, and you get to see how bad, you know, because like I said, normal people in their right mind would say, what the fuck? You're congratulating each other for destroying people's lives. You bust them for victimless bullshit, you know, drug crimes like pot. One joint, you go to jail. A bowl, you go to jail. Piece of weed in your pocket, you go to jail. Now we pass medical marijuana, and this motherfucker has basically said, if you have a medical marijuana card, we're still gonna fuck with you, even though we've passed it with the 75% pass rate here in the vote. He is basically saying, if you don't buy it from our state-sanctioned dealers, we're going to bust you. If you dare share it, we're going to bust you. Basically saying, everybody that's got a medical marijuana card, we're going to fuck with you because you are ruining my policing for profit. Go here to see. That is what they're fucking doing here, man. At this event. Public Safety Appreciation Night. What the fuck? Every time they say safety, wake fuck up. You just lost more freedom, man. Are you serious? Here's another thing to think of. These motherfuckers, not only are they stealing from you with these victimless crimes, they're stealing money from you with the pay, benefits, and retirement that are totally unrealistic, unsustainable. That is what's going to kill many places around the country as we speak. Detroit already went bankrupt. New York's going to go bankrupt. Illinois is going to go bankrupt. California's going to go. You want to know why? Because your fucking public officials are stealing your tax money from you. Nobody pays like they do. Nobody's got benefits and retirement like they do, because it's a Ponzi scheme. People, wake the fuck up. Take a goddamn country back like our founding fathers said to do. Period.
And to the republic for which it stands, nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
very much. If you please turn down your cell phones and not silence the highway. Thank everyone for HOMESTEAD for the award ceremony. And we'll start off with the invitation. Pastor Dennis, if you can come to the invitation, please.
Is that mic on?
It's on, it's showing on, but
Maybe other ones announced.
Is it on now? Can you hear me now? Rodney set me up.
Let us pray. Father, we continually acknowledge and humble ourselves before you, that you are God, creator of all life, and sustainer of all life. Lord, for this event, we want to acknowledge, oh God, that you are the one who made it possible for men and women to continually be strong in their purpose of life. And I thank you for this department, that you continually uphold its vision, its mission, and its purpose. Lord, we thank you for the acknowledgement of the community for this department. We thank you for the leaders of this department, of God, for their continually strong and moral support and acknowledgement for their purpose. Lord, we ask you that by your grace and by your power, protect each person in this department. Give them favor. Give them, oh God, Lord, your wisdom, your insight, even, Lord, the strength to do, oh God, what they are called to do. Thank you for their sacrifice, oh God. Thank you. And even if others do not see their sacrifices, we pray that you will continually bless them and their family. So, Lord, to you we give you the glory and honor. And we continually also thank you for the food that you have prepared, that you have given each one, Lord. And we thank you for God continually, abundantly providing for this department and its personnel. In Jesus' name, amen.
Mike Keel here from Florida Sheriff's Youth Branch. If you can come up, please say a few words, Mike. To start off, though, Mike, I think the sheriff wants to present something to you that I know this won't be a wasted trip if you get this envelope here. So.
Well, as you know, part of our award ceremony is also to raise money for the youth branch, so we have a check here for you for $800 that we'd like to present here today.
First off, definitely thank you so much for helping the children. You're a wonderful supporter of the Sheriff's Youth Branches. Just quick things for everyone here. I heard an alarming statistic from the Jason County. In 2017, there were 310 children who were removed from their homes because of their parents' poor choices, illegal, sometimes obviously, domestic disputes, neglect to the children. I service an area from Tampa Bay, Hillsborough County, all the way through Collier County in Naples. I did the math with demographics and population. I want to say my math came out to probably over 1,500, close to probably 1,800 children in just southwest Florida that were removed from their homes and ended up in the foster care system, under the Sheriff's Youth Ranches, or other like organizations. I ask everybody in this room to do these children, our children of the state of Florida, one favor. Take the Rancher magazine home that's on your table, read the articles, research the Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranches. If you want to save a child, you want to help what's going on with these parents making poor decisions and all the struggles that the children have to face in today's society, please support the youth ranches. And those of you that are in this building, in this room that are, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for taking care of our children in the state of Florida. Sheriff, thank you again. Thank you.
Moving into the sponsors of this event, they pay for all the awardees' meals along with their families. Jim Reddington, if you can come up, you and Colin maybe.
Sir.
Moving into the awards, our first award is going to be special recognition. Ms. Tamlin, if you can come up and present the first award.
Alright, this special recognition is going to be presented to Myra Haven. She started with the CCSO as an express part-time support member for HR and risk management back in November of 2016. Her organizational and Microsoft skills were quickly noted as she became an instant asset to risk management. Over the course of the past year, she has learned all aspects of risk management and continuously seeks additional responsibilities. By August 2017, our HR vault had been totally overrun with employee folders, even our retired or ex-members. And so we had given her a task of actually going in there, categorizing them, putting them in plastic containers, and then moving them over into the other vault. Within a week of starting the project, Hurricane Irma came through. I'm not going to go through all this. Myra, originally from Puerto Rico, would soon be watching helplessly as her family in Puerto Rico was faced with the devastating hurricane. On September 20th and throughout, so they also had Irma, and then Maria came right behind that. Even though she was faced with all this, she still continued to come to work very hard, and she was able to actually get this done within half the time that we thought it would be. So I just want to say, great job, Myra. Thank you for all your hard work. And now, the good news is she's actually been hired. She's actually part-time with us now. So she's already official.
Sergeant Morris, if you can come up and present the next one.
You knew you were presenting and you sat in the back corner?
Yes.
Can I have Corporal Joe Ireland and DFC Joelle Moore come up, please? In the past few months, DFC Moore and Corporal Ireland have seen a rise in calls at Crossroads New Hope Academy. DFC Moore made it a priority to visit with these youth, and in order to address their needs and reduce the calls volume District 4 was experiencing. DFC Moore and Corporal Ireland teamed up with Habitat for Humanity and scheduled a build with the foster children on March 3rd, 2018. When the build was canceled, Corporal Ireland and DFC Moore decided to take the 6 juveniles to Ponce de Leon Park and clean up trash along the shores and trails for 2 hours. Corporal Ireland then treated the kids for lunch. In addition, they toured the wildlife sanctuary, where one youth signed up to do further volunteer hours. Corporal Ireland stated they all had a good time and served as a great relationship builder for these kids that needed a mentor in their lives. Corporal Ireland and DFC Moore to be commended for their unique approach to resolving an issue within the community. Not only does it help to alleviate calls, but it builds these youth civic engagement and capacity for change. Congratulations.
And Leah, I understand you met Joe. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Thank you for our service. Thank you.
Sergeant Pelosi, if you can come up and present the next one.
How you doing, sir?
involvement, getting the community behind this 100%. Here's a prime example of the community stepping up and going above and beyond and helping us out. On March 16th, DFC Cialino conducted a traffic stop on Duncan Road. The vehicle made a simple stop sign violation, but after an evaluation of the situation, the driver appeared to be under the influence. DFC Cialino asked the driver to step out of the vehicle at that time. Once at the front of the patrol vehicle, he attempted to check the mail for weapons. The subject kept trying to reach into the front pockets and was attempted to walk away from Deputy Cialino and back to his car. Cialino explained the risk of him putting his hands in his pocket and walking away. But he continued to attempt to pull away, still reaching for his pockets. So a struggle broke out at that point, with Cialino placed the subject on the hood of the patrol vehicle. DFC Cialino called for backup on his radio, but could not continue to talk due to the struggle. He could hear the sirens in this distance, knowing his squad was coming to aid. Even though it was only a matter of minutes before help arrived, he said he felt like forever, which they can be. DFC Cialino told the male subject to stop resisting and cuff up, but he did not comply with it. He continued to try to twist away and started kicking against DFC Cialino's thighs. Cialino was only able to hold him down and could not apply handcuffs. And we all know how hard that is when you have a struggling subject out there. To DFC Cialino's relief, a silver Dodge pickup stopped beside the patrol vehicle and offered, "You need help." This is when Mr. Kyle Tucker, I'm sorry, I wasn't working. If you'll please stand up here. He stepped up to the plate. He said, "What do you need me to do?" There was no hesitation from him. There was no hesitation from him in helping a law enforcement deputy. Now I see he's part of the family, but still, as a citizen not knowing that, he stepped up to the plate to help a fellow brother in a time of need. DFC Cialino told Kyle to just apply handcuffs. He took the handcuffs as Cialino displayed his taser to the male, both telling him to cuff up and relax. Kyle was then able to apply handcuffs to the male so that DFC Cialino could take him to custody. The male has 14 charges, some of which are operating a motor vehicle without a valid license, possession of controlled substance without prescription, possession of harmful new legend drugs without prescription, false ID given to LEO, resisting officer violence and battery on LEO, along with 2 warrants out of Sarasota. So we can see why that subject did not want to go to jail. Without Kyle's help in securing the male subject, there was potential of his eluding arrest or further harming DFC Cialino before backup arrived. As law enforcement officers, we face negative attitudes towards the profession every day. Thankfully, Kyle did not look on this situation that way. He saw an opportunity to help and acted upon it, making sure to follow the directions given to ensure both of their safety. Kyle, I'd like to personally thank you for your assistance to DFC Cialino, and I know Sheriff Prummell is pleased to award you for your courage. Thank you, sir. Since I'm up here, I've got another one. Corporal Jack Collins, DFC Jacob Patton, will you please come forward? It's going to be a life-saving award, and it's a great privilege that and honor that we actually, the work we do, we see the results. And after reading this and finding out about this incident, afterwards, Corporal Collins actually called the spouse of the subject that they saved, which I'm going to read in a minute. And she actually showed her gratitude by saying, you know, thank you for saving my husband. He's here today, basically, because of your efforts. So it's a great thing that we get to do out there. But on January 23rd of this year, Corporal Jack Collins was dispatched to the area just south of the DeSoto County line in reference to a medical call. And again, that's a long way out there for us on patrol. The call was that a male subject was slumped over behind the wheel of the car, and the male was having difficulty breathing. Once on scene, Corporal Collins made contact with the subject's wife, who was trying to revive the male. It was determined that the male subject was in some form of medical distress. At that time, Corporal Collins was attempting to maintain the subject's airway by keeping his head upright and the airway open. DFC Jacob Patton arrived on scene and assisted in the above efforts. During this time, the subject still had a pulse and life-saving efforts were continued. Another deputy arrived, escorting the family out of the vehicle and out of sight so that he could help them to calm down. At that time, DFC Patton was unable to locate a pulse and advised the others that the subject had stopped breathing. DFC Patton and Corporal Collins then removed the subject from the vehicle and immediately began CPR. CPR was continued until Charlotte County Fire and EMS arrived and took over life-saving measures. The subject was transported to the hospital where he continued to receive life-saving treatment. The EMT and paramedic members on scene said that the measures taken by the deputies gave the subject a fighting chance and that it appeared to be a recovery. A follow-up later on after that showed that the subject did survive after some time in ICU and was later released and had full recovery. At this time, I commend Corporal Collins at DFC Patton as I'm honored to present life-saving awards for this incident. Without the deputies' life-saving efforts, the subject will not have survived. Congratulations, guys.
Sergeant Russell, if you would come up and present the next one.
DSC, Tristan Zimmerman, you come forward. On January 30th, DSC Tristan Zimmerman was assisting road patrol units when an emergency call for assistance came over the radio for an infant not breathing. She was just around the corner from the call location. DSC Zimmerman arrived within seconds and observed the mother holding the infant who appeared to be in distress. After evaluating the situation, determining the infant was choking on an unknown object, DSC Zimmerman delivered 5 backblows to the infant, which appeared to dislodge the object. She reevaluated the situation and found the child to be breathing normally without straining. DSC Zimmerman held the child and monitored his breathing until EMS arrived on scene. DSC Zimmerman should be commended for her quick response and her immediate reaction to evaluate the scene, determine the problem, and deliver backblows to dislodge the item from the infant. I would also like to commend her for her knowledge and training, the abilities to perform potential life-saving measures, and her due diligence to her profession. Job well done. Congratulations.
Sergeant Doyle, if you come up and present the next one.
Corporal Reese and DSC Signorelli step forward, please. On January 16th of this year, DFC Paul Signorelli was dispatched to a local gas station in Northport, County Line, in reference to a medical call for a subject reportedly not breathing. Upon arrival, DFC Signorelli observed several subjects standing around a silver vehicle. The subjects advised there was a male inside that vehicle that was unconscious, not breathing, and the male was covered in his own vomit. DFC Signorelli checked for a pulse but could not obtain one, and determined CPR needed to be started immediately. This particular gas station, the majority of the property is in the jurisdiction of the vehicle, and the unconscious male is also in the jurisdiction. However, this did not deter DFC Signorelli from providing the necessary care to the subject. DFC Signorelli notified Central Communications of the situation, requested more court be notified, and immediately continued to render aid. The subject was removed from his vehicle and placed on the ground. DFC Signorelli attached his agency-issued AED to perform CPR consisting of multiple chest compressions and rescue breaths until the AED indicated to finish for analysis. At this point, Corporal Reese arrived on scene shortly after the AED had been attached and took over chest compressions while DFC Signorelli continued with rescue breaths. At one point, the AED did advise shots were required and multiple shots were delivered. These life-saving measures continued until Northport Fire Rescue arrived and took over. A short time later, the subject regained a pulse and started to breathe again. Paramedics advised the subject's vitals were good, even though he had not been breathing for over 5 minutes. On February 7th, I was forwarded a letter from Chief KENNETH of the Northport Police Department that stated the subject had been released from the hospital and made a full recovery. The letter went on to praise a quick response of DFC Signorelli and Corporal Reese and stated that without them, the subject may not have survived. It is for these reasons that I proudly honor them both with a life-saving award.
the law enforcement member of the quarter. Lieutenant McPhee, you can come up and present, please.
Detective Don will please come forward. Detective Don He currently serves as the task force officer for the FBI. As a liaison for our agency, this first quarter of 2018, he has and continues to investigate several cases resulting in the apprehension, arrest, and indictment of offenders participating in the collection, transmission, or the orchestration of child pornography. The victims that Don works to protect are our most vulnerable, children. These cases are typically very convoluted. They require time and patience to investigate, along with a strong sense of determination to get past the horrific acts that these children suffer. One such case involved Brian Thomas, who resided in Charlotte County. Although this case was opened in 2016, it has just recently come full circle outside of any of the appeals process. This case began as an investigation into peer-to-peer distribution of child pornography. Once the investigation was able to substantiate a search warrant, he was ultimately indicted by a federal court by a grand jury for the possession of child pornography and sentenced to 30 years. Through further forensic investigation, Detective Wilkie and the investigative team he works with were then able to substantiate additional crimes where Thomas was sexually assaulting an 11-year-old child that he had contact with through a relative. Thomas was sentenced to life in prison on April 23rd for lewd and lascivious molestation, sexual battery of a child less than 12 years old, and video voyeurism charges. This is just one example of the many cases that Detective Wilkie is dedicated to bringing to successful prosecution. Although many cases are distribution of child pornography, which affect children worldwide, cases like Thomas, where intervention stops the physical abuse of a child that is physically in your presence, is extremely rewarding. We also applaud the Assistant State Attorney, Stephanie Powers, and I know Kyle also worked on it in conjunction with Detective Wilkie. They supported his efforts in this case, and it resulted in his prosecution and sentencing so successful that this child victim will never have to fear facing her perpetrator again in her life. Don works diligently on behalf of these innocent children to stop these heinous crimes. In addition to his own caseload, Don also assists other agencies by offering investigative skills, expertise, and time. Due to his ability to manage this intense caseload in the upcoming year, he's also going to be taking on violent crimes within Charlotte County for the FBI task force. So we congratulate Don on a job very well done. Thank you, members. Today I'd also like to recognize our narcotics unit. On January 11th, the narcotics unit notified of 2 subjects that were located within approximately a mile of each other that had overdosed on unknown narcotics. Both subjects were revived, they were treated, they were released from the hospitals. Members of our narcotics unit, they quickly tracked down one of the subjects and they obtained information for the source of the narcotics causing the overdoses. Members then began developing a surveillance plan, intelligence gathering, and a threat assessment on the target location. A search warrant was written, submitted, and approved and executed that same night. During initial entry, members located a suspicious powder substance, leading to the belief that it was possibly fentanyl. Contact was made with our meth investigation group, requesting their assistance. Sergeant Jim Van Andy and Corporal Jacob Hawkins responded to the scene where they worked alongside the narcotics unit to safely remove evidence, piece by piece, ensuring the safety of our members as well as the neighboring residents. This was a painstaking process that took us into the early morning hours to complete. The dedication of these members resulted in the arrest of 2 subjects, the recovery of multiple drugs, paraphernalia, and a firearm. This investigation most certainly saved the lives of others who may have fallen victim to an overdose. Members of the narcotics unit, as well as Sergeant Van Andy and Corporal Hawkins, are to be commended for their rapid and efficient response, reflective of the foundation of our profession, the protection of human life. For reasons of confidentiality, the narcotics unit was recognized and treated to a barbecue luncheon by our executive command staff earlier this month for this award. Sergeant Van Andy and Corporal Hawkins were unable to be with us today, so I gladly accept this award on their behalf, and I appreciate all their efforts. They work tremendously hard to resolve the issues with the drugs in this community. Thank you.
Now we have the civilian team of the Corps. Melanie Bailey, if you come up and present.
If I could have Squad D, Communication Squad D, come up, please. On January 29th, operator Heidi Ramirez answered a 911 call from a female in distress stating that someone was going to kill her and that she could not speak. Heidi, using phase 2 cell phones, asked the caller if she was in a specific location in front of GORDA, but the caller just kept saying that a male subject was going to kill her and that he was coming into the camper that she was in. Heidi quickly saved the call with the phase 2 location while dispatcher Maureen was on dispatch units. The female did not verify the address that she was on a specific road. At this point, other members of the squad jumped into action, looking up history, information of the phone number, and the name of the male that the female provided. Heidi kept reassuring the caller hope was on the way and would ask the caller questions as she was being prompted by our supervisors and responding road units. When units were getting close, Heidi obtained directions on how to get to the location of the caller and the camper that she was in, since both were in a remote area of the county. The call was very intense, as you can imagine. At moments, the caller said the male was shooting at her, setting the camper on fire, and hooked up the camper, trying to drive away with it with her in it. When units were in the general area, dispatcher Maureen, with the aid of the CAD mapping system, was able to guide the responding units to the correct streets and verify that indeed they were headed in the right area. After the units were on scene, the male subject fled on foot and units started a search. Heidi stayed on the phone with the caller, even though the deputies were on scene in the general area. She stayed on the line until the caller was safely with the deputy. Heidi remained on the 911 call for over 45 minutes. You can imagine how that was for Heidi. Ensuring the caller's safety and providing calming assurance that we had help coming to help. I would like to commend the members of Squad D for the teamwork they demonstrated, and especially operator Heidi Ramirez for her calming manner and reassurance to the caller.
Moving into 30 years of service. Jennifer Scott, if you come up and present.
Rose Manfreda. Rose Manfreda started her career with the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office on April 12, 1988. Rose was originally assigned to the purchasing office as a secretary and worked with PINELLAS. Shortly after, she worked with Lieutenant John Davenport in Central Services and Receiving. After a couple of years of purchasing, she transferred to civil in January 1990. During the past 28 years in civil, Rose has worked both in the office and finally on the road serving civil process for the last several years. Rose looks forward to spending quality time with her family, both here and in Ohio, and has intentions of spending time reading in the sunshine and traveling. Rose has enjoyed her time with the agency and working in civil on the road. She has no immediate plans for retirement. Congratulations, Rose, on 30 years as CCSO. We look forward to working with you for next year.
Rose, did you want to say anything?
She says thank you. Of course I can.
I just want to assure everyone, despite some of the stories you heard here today, mine is down in Charlotte County. But anyway, I want to thank our board members. You guys do a fantastic job here. You epitomize what it is to be a member of the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, and your dedication to the citizens of this county is just unbelievable, and I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I thank you guys so much. I will keep my words very brief because I know I'm moving. But again, thank you. I want to thank Jim Reddington for sponsoring the luncheon here. Thank you to the Lashman Craft House and the staff for providing our meal. So with that, again, let's eat.
Hey, Sheriff, we have a question about why your office, your intelligence division, is investigating private citizens for criminal investigation that happen to be activists that are overseeing your department. Why would you have your intelligence division investigate private citizens? We have done...
For life hating so much.
Sir, we don't hate anyone. We love freedom and we love American people. And government is out of control. That's why you're seeing such a revolt nationwide. Why can't you just answer, why is Susan Edwards, your intelligence division, investigating private citizens? This should not happen.
Are you here to apply for a job?
Possibly I might be applying for a job, but that's irrelevant to my question. Why would you ask that question?
Well, enjoy the fair.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Excuse you?
Excuse me, sir.
So those of you that haven't
Wow.
been on a bike before, we're
Sheriff's
just
getting a little too pushy. You work for us, Sheriff. Just keep that in mind. At one time we respected you, but not with that type of attitude.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I just wanted you to know that I am using this stuff under fair use. And also remember to like and subscribe this channel. Also too, keep in mind I do not make any money on YouTube. This is 5 hours work a day, you know, fighting for freedom. And you can donate with PayPal and Patreon. I just want you to think about this. If everybody gives to PayPal and Patreon, Patreon is every month. Actually, PayPal you can do every month. I have 12,000 subscribers. If everybody gives, I can quit my regular job and go full-time investigations on Charlotte County and possibly even more and beyond. So just keep that in mind. If everybody helps out, I can go full-time doing this. Thanks.